All right, how is everyone doing? This is Hamza from Invest in Progress, and this past week has been pretty crazy. We've had a pretty bumpy ride for, all of the cryptocurrencies because apparently the market crashed a bit and it wasn't a good week for a lot of people. So, first thing what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly see what happened in the past 7 days. So we know that the market cap was somewhere around $751 billion, and this actually fell down to well below $450 billion. It's like $417 billion. And actually, at one point during the same month, it was actually above $830 billion. That's what I had seen. So, I mean, there you go, somewhere around $830 billion. Um, so this entire crash was actually pretty crazy for a lot of people, and we're just going to quickly look at why this happened. So this was, because of a lot of reasons. One was primarily it was because because of the regulatory crackdown that a lot of countries are planning of doing. And just to point out, they still haven't done it, but they're actually planning of restricting and putting regulatory restrictions on crypto trading because it apparently helps in tax evasion and money laundering, which I agree to. Okay, so a few of the countries are South Korea and Chinese government. We know they have been, the regulators are basically sitting and, they want to regulate this market. And actually, there was another news coming in from China that, most of the mining of Bitcoin, this is for everyone to know that most of the mining is actually done in China. And they are actually limiting the supply of electricity to the miners out there. So that is basically going to increase the cost of mining in China. That is another way of sort of regulating it. So this is what we've seen, and actually we saw some news regarding cryptocurrencies um, to get regulated in France as well, and UK and EU plan to regulate the cryptocurrencies. So what this did was this created a lot of panic amongst the investors, and everybody wanted to sell because I feel like majority of I don't feel, I'm actually pretty sure majority of the investors into the crypto market, majority of the money of this $562 billion is actually of uninformed and uneducated investors. Now, here's what I believe, and here's what I mean when I say that. Those uninformed investors do not know the technology behind these coins or what they're investing in. They haven't done their research, but they are solely investing just because they saw Bitcoin climbing from, $1,200 or, $400 to almost $20,000. So they're like, we're going to find the next Bitcoin, which apparently they think that it's Ripple. So, they're going to get in, and they're going to enter Ripple right now at $1.55, and they're going to wait for it to actually get to $20,000, which is never going to happen. I mean, one day in the next 100 years that this might happen, but I don't know. um what they don't realize is that there's just 21 million Bitcoins out there, and there are almost 100 billion coins of Ripple. So that is practically, I don't know if that's possible. So this is what I mean by uninformed investors. And what I personally feel is that since most of them are uneducated, some of them are the educated investors, and the real smart, I would say, institutional investors. And when they start pulling out a bit of money, and when people actually saw Ripple maybe coming down to from $3.88 to $3, they all wanted to sell because nobody wanted to lose their money, and this entire chaos actually happened. So just talking about a bit about what I did during this crash. So surprisingly, I didn't freak out and I didn't sell any of this And one possible reason was because I got into these cryptocurrencies, whatever I invested in, at a pretty good price. I'm just going to give an example of DeepBrain Chain that I'm invested in. Again, this is not a financial advice, and I'm not endorsing DeepBrain Chain. Please do your own research, because I am not a financial advisor and I do not give out financial advice. So I entered into DeepBrain Chain when it was like somewhere around here at 15 cents, and it went up to 66 cents in less than a week. Seriously. And then it started falling. So one strategy that I could have implemented was, when it fell by, let's say, 15%, I could have sold it at that price, maybe at, somewhere around 45 cents or, 50 cents. And I would have probably bought it back again at, 30 cents or something. What that would have done is, or maybe 25 cents. What that would have done is, if I had sold, let's say, my 1,000 DeepBrain Chain coins at 50 cents and I had bought it back at 25 cents, I would have had 2,000 DeepBrain Chain coins instead of 1,000. So this is one strategy that you can do, that you can implement only if you're anticipating that the market is actually really going to go down, because I don't think I haven't researched enough to know if we can actually short sell in the market. If any one of you knows how we can short sell, please comment below, let me know, educate me. And I do not want to really short the futures. I know we have like options and binary options, but I'm not really interested in that, because I think that is pure gambling. But so that is actually one strategy that I could have implemented, that you also can do. Maybe implement a short, not a short, it's a stop loss, and maybe a trailing stop loss, to basically sell out your position if it drops to a certain price. If you do not know what stop loss is, just comment below and I can possibly look at covering that topic. So this is one thing that I could have done, but I still sort of do not regret it, because whatever projects I invested in, I really believe in them, and I do my research before investing any money into any project. So I think that this is still going to go up. So talking about the future and where I see the prices actually going. So one thing I'm going to point out, that these countries are basically planning of regulating the market, or banning crypto trading and all of these things. But here is the takeaway from it. It says that South Korea's most senior financial policymaker suggested that the country could ban trading in the country entirely. They still haven't banned it. They could ban, and when they do, or if they do, the market is actually going to crash. And I think, if we are seeing, the market crippling by 50%, with just a news that they're planning of regulating, I don't know what's going to happen when they actually regulate. Maybe the market cap is going to get to somewhere around 300 or 250 billion dollars. But here is what I believe. I am probably going to still hold on to my positions, or maybe do what I was telling you about DeepBrain Chain. Here's what I believe. I know by the end of this year, or maybe next year, that this market cap, this industry has to go up, and there will be more capital coming into the market, just because I think crypto and the blockchain technology is the future. And it might cripple, but it is going to go up, and it will cross $1 trillion. So up till now, we had just seen, if I think one month chart should be good enough, we had seen almost $830 billion into the market. And obviously, one really important concept for you to understand is that when this market, when actually these dollars are pulled out of the market, all the prices come down. So this is one thing that you really need to understand. And if I look at just this 1 day chart, so from here, from $604, it went down to $562, which is why in the past one hour, the market is actually in red just because this money is pulled out of the market. So right now, the the money was pulled out from the market from $830 trillion to 526 from sorry $830 billion to $526 billion. So which is why the market is down. But once it's back up to $830 billion, the market is going to go back to where it was before a week. And when it crosses $1 trillion, the market is actually going up by 23-24% or something. So I know that this market is going to flourish in future. And I am a true believer of the blockchain technology. I'm not endorsing any of these coins or anything. Do your own research, and please do not take anything I say as a financial advice. I don't want people coming after me just in case any of the cryptocurrencies fall. So if you do not agree to anything I say, or if you agree, comment below, let me know what you guys think. And if you want me to cover any topic, let me know. I still haven't started telling you guys my top currencies. And if you want to know where I'm investing in, just like let's say DeepBrain Chain, where I invested in 15 cents and it went up to like 66 cents in less than 7 days. So I will be covering my top cryptocurrency picks. And do subscribe to the channel, and comment below for any questions.